Christopher Columbus, sponsored by IBM, will continue after this.
The Jacquard loom. It may look a little primitive, but in its day, it was a marvel. Here's a harvesting machine. It turned the Great Plains into the breadbasket of our nation. This may not look like an antique, but in a sense it is. It's from one of the first IBM computers. It could solve problems in a few minutes that would have taken a team of mathematicians months to do. But it used vacuum tubes. Remember your old radio? And while these tubes may not seem so big to us, to an engineer or scientist, they posed gigantic problems. They weren't reliable enough, they used too much energy, and they were too big. You see, all these vacuum tubes, which were essentially on-off switching devices, were connected to the other components by miles and miles of wire. Even though electricity travels at the speed of light, the time it takes to go through the system depends on the distance it has to travel. Engineers and scientists wanted to make computers faster. They wanted to make millions of calculations possible in the blink of an eye. So they needed switches that were 1,000 times faster. Today, all those tubes and other electronic components have been compressed onto a tiny chip made from the purest silicon crystal. This chip that can fit through the eye of a needle can do the work of 1,000 vacuum tubes. Now those millions of calculations can be done in the blink of an eye, and they can be done a lot cheaper. In fact, the number of calculations that would have cost more than $1 a couple of decades ago now cost less than a penny. And that means computers are now available to do a lot more jobs, to solve a lot more problems for a lot more people.
You're looking at a tiny dot of neon argon gas. IBM has been working with a technology using thousands of these dots of light. The result, an ultra-thin computer display screen. But this thin screen is just the beginning. IBM research scientists are exploring new ways to use this technology.
Hi.
Amazing.
As you can see, we can talk face-to-face wherever our offices may be.
So I see.
And before, we could only display this much information. Now we can display this much more and do it from 4 different computers.
4 computers?
You can even make your own notations.
Where?
Right on the screen.
Oh.
And because the screen is so thin, you can put it anywhere, even on the wall.
Looks like it can do just about everything for an office. Except make a cup of coffee.
How's this?
The latest innovation in display screen technology, developed by IBM.
Christopher Columbus, sponsored by IBM, will continue after this.
CBS Sportsbreak, sponsored by IBM.
Good evening. Conference final action continued in the NBA playoffs tonight with Los Angeles and Denver tied at 116 late in the 4th period. This wild scramble took place before James Worthy came up with a basket that gave the Lakers a 3-1 series lead. Meantime, in Philadelphia, the 76ers beat Boston. Rookie Charles Barkley scored 15 points to key the win. Boston leads that series 3-1. In golf, Corey Pavin won the Colonial National Invitation. And I'll have more after this.
Christopher Columbus will return in a moment. Stay tuned as the adventure continues. Brought to you by IBM.
In boxing, Wilfredo Gomez won a controversial split decision from Rocky Lockridge to win the WBA junior lightweight title. And 80,000 runners jammed the streets of San Francisco for the Bay to Breakers road race. Some strange sights, but a new course record for Olympic marathon gold medalist Joan Benoit. For CBS Sportsbreak, I'm Pat O'Brien.
Tuesday. These should have been their golden years.
Barbara, I love you so much.
But now, they were determined to triumph.
I don't know what's happening.
Well, we're going to find out.
In this, the most heroic battle of their lives.
It forced me to treat you like a child.
You are most probably suffering from Alzheimer's disease.
Joanne Woodward and Richard Kiley star
I'm going to beat whatever this is I've got.
in the inspiring world premiere of Do You Remember Love? Tuesday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
And now we return to Christopher Columbus, starring Gabriel Byrne and Oliver Reed.